Story 1. Pizza? Interesting. Captain Zorg marched into the pizzeria, his hulking green frame casting a shadow across the room. The patrons froze. Pizza slices halted en route to their mouths. "Greetings, people of Earth," Zorg's voice boomed. "We come in peace and seek new cuisine." A lanky teenager stepped forward, knees shaking. Hi, I'm Mike. We have pizza. It's pretty good." He offered a slice on a paper plate. Zorg picked it up and peered at it curiously through his 3 eyes. He scanned the slice with a device on his belt. "Fascinating. What is this pizza's function?" "You eat it for enjoyment." Mike scratched his head. "It's one of our specialties here." "Enjoyment?" Zorg balked. "Surely food is fuel, not fun." The other aliens nodded in agreement. Mike shrugged. "Give it a try." Zorg cautiously took a bite. His eyes widened in surprise. "By the sacred moons of Margax, the flavors, the textures, this is good, right?" Mike asked hopefully. "No. Better than good. Superb. Stupendous," Zorg exclaimed. "This changes everything." The aliens erupted into cheers. Earth cuisine would never be the same. The aliens descended ravenously on the pizzeria, inhaling slices faster than the overwhelmed staff could bake them. Sauce splattered everywhere as the extraterrestrials jammed droopy slices into their mouths. "More!" Zorg bellowed, bits of cheese clinging to his face. "We must sample every variety." The humans rushed around, tossing pies and dodging flailing alien limbs. Their usually tidy shop was in shambles. "Try the pepperoni," Mike shouted over the chaos, "and the Hawaiian has pineapple on it." The aliens devoured everything so quickly that no one could appreciate the nuances of each flavor. It was a free-for-all bacchanalia of dough, cheese, and sauce. "Stop!" Mike yelled, waving his arms. "You have to slow down. Savor each bite." The aliens paused, looking at him quizzically. Mike handed out napkins. "Like this." He slowly lifted a bite to his mouth, eyes closed in bliss. The aliens followed his lead. Their chewing slowed. Their eyes widened. "By the sacred moons," Zorg whispered. "Such complexity." Satisfied smiles settled on the aliens' sauce-smeared faces. Earth's cuisine would never be the same. Zorg turned to address his crew. "We must return home at once. Pizza shall become the greatest peacekeeping tool in the galaxy." The aliens erupted in cheers. Finally, a solution to unite their warring factions. They gathered every pizza box and leftover slice, rushing towards the door. "Wait," Mike called. "Don't you want to try some of our other foods?" Zorg paused. "There is more?" Mike grinned. "Pizza is just the beginning." For the next few hours, the humans treated the aliens to all Earth's culinary wonders: juicy hamburgers, crisp salads, rich lasagnas, spicy curries, sweet cakes. With each new taste, the aliens' minds expanded. Their differences seemed to fade away. "How can we repay you?" Zorg asked finally. "Just promise you'll share these not only with your people, but all peaceful species everywhere," Mike said. Zorg placed a long, slender hand over his heart. "You have my word. The universe shall unite through food." The aliens once again prepared to depart, the ship loaded with a global cuisine feast. As it launched skyward, Mike waved farewell, knowing Earth had made a friend today. Captain Zorg stood proudly on the observation deck as his ship approached the war-torn planet of Centauri 9. For decades, its 2 dominant factions had been locked in conflict. "Ready the pizza missiles," he ordered his crew. This new weapon from Earth would hopefully lead to peace. As the ship entered orbit, the missile bays opened. A swarm of pizza-laden rockets launched towards the surface. Down below, the Centaurians paused their fighting and looked skyward in confusion. Just as the missiles reached their targets, they burst open, raining down piping hot, sauce-oozing slices upon the bewildered aliens. "Take cover!" one yelled, holding his hands over his head. But instead of explosions, a glorious medley of scents wafted through the air. Cautiously, each side tasted the strange new rations from the sky. Eyes lit up in delighted shock, weapons lowered. Within moments, they were mingling together, laughing and sharing pizza in harmony. Zorg smiled. "Deploy Omega-level spaghetti bombardment next. That should seal the peace agreement." The crew cheered. Thanks to Earth's cuisine, warring worlds could become allies. Over the next few years, Zorg's forces traveled the galaxy, uniting enemies through the power of food. Word spread quickly about the strange new flavors from the small blue planet, bringing hope. On Xanathos, years of tension faded away after a barrage of falafel broke down cultural barriers. The beat-wielding peacekeeping forces ended decades of civil war on Cygnus 12. Everywhere Zorg went, he upheld his promise to protect the galaxy through Earth's cuisine. Decades passed. Captain Zorg retired honorably after a long career of successful peacekeeping missions. The day of his farewell party finally arrived. As Zorg's ship touched down on Earth, the now elderly Mike greeted him on the landing pad. "Welcome back, friend," Mike said with a warm smile. Together, they walked into the party filled with humans and aliens laughing together, sharing dishes from across the galaxy. There was pizza, of course, but also Centaurian noodles, Xanathian honey cakes, Cygnian mashed beets, and more. Zorg turned to Mike, his eyes brimming with pride. "This all started with you those many years ago." Mike just smiled and handed his friend a slice. "Pizza? Interesting how far a simple pie can go." Story 2. That's rum for ya. The mess hall of the Starship Renegade buzzed with riotous energy as the crew celebrated their successful heist of a luxury starliner. Beings from across the galaxy sat around tables overflowing with extravagant foods and spirits plundered from the ship's stores. In the corner, Jake sat with his feet up on a chair, swigging rum straight from the bottle. The only human on the otherwise alien crew, he savored the familiar burn of his favorite drink. First Officer Sla, a Saladian with emerald scales and a crest of spikes on his head, slithered over to Jake's table. "Human, must you imbibe that wretched earthen concoction?" he asked, forked tongue flicking out in disgust. "It makes your kind act so foolishly." Jake smirked and poured a splash of rum into a glass. "Oh, come on, Sla. Rum helps us humans unwind. Here, give it a taste." Sisla sniffed the glass and wrinkled his snout. "It smells like engine fuel mixed with vomit." Still, not wanting to offend the human, he gingerly touched the tip of his tongue to the rum. Immediately he recoiled, gagging dramatically. "By the moons of Saladia, it burns like acid," Sisla exclaimed, throat sac inflating in outrage. His outburst drew the attention of the other crew members. "Let me try some," said Wallix, a giant insectoid alien with multifaceted eyes and twitching antennae. He sampled the rum and his mandibles clicked rapidly in disgust. "It tastes like licking the bottom of a grease trap on Alpha Centauri 14. The mess hall erupted with raucous laughter as more beings dared each other to taste the toxic human drink. A massive rock-skinned alien named Grax took a swig and immediately spit it across the room. "It's like liquid fire. Do humans have acid for blood?" Jake laughed heartily, wiping tears from his eyes. "That's rum for ya. Acquired taste, I guess. More for me, then." He refilled his bottle from a crate, raising a toast to his comrades. The crew continued their boisterous celebrations late into the night cycle. Jake's bizarre beverage remained an enigma, potent and vile, enjoyed only by the lone human who had joined these aliens among the stars. Story 3: The Human Game. The vaulted crystalline walls of the Galvaxian starship bridge glimmered with panels of dancing lights. The usual orderly hum of the ship was disrupted by a chorus of trills, clicks, and exclamations as the transfixed crew explored the bizarre human technology before them. At the center sat Captain Zeth, his iridescent carapace gleaming under the glow of display screens. His clawed appendages worked the game controller feverishly, while his compound eyes, black as the void of space, remained locked on the images unfolding. "Come on, you fractious two-legged creature," he buzzed. "Evade those malicious howlers." First Officer Zelboyd, slender with bioluminescent stripes pulsing down his coils, hovered over the captain's shoulder. "Remain calm, sir. Remember, the human girl Ellie lacks any true sentience." Zeth dismissed him with a wave of his limb, fixated on the epic plight of the game's characters. At Tactical, the bulbous Lieutenant Qualgrox had jammed his 3 eye stalks into a virtual reality visor, now lurching about in a disoriented state. His tentacled legs became entangled and he careened sideways into the android Lieutenant Gravlax with a resonating crunch. "Get off me, you bumbling cephalopod!" Gravlax's voice boomed through audio processors designed to be heard over the noisy engine room he commanded. "1,000 apologies," Qualgrox replied. "The human tech provides such convincing sensory manipulation." As the crew returned to their antics, Zeth suddenly sprang up, appendages waving jubilantly. "Victory! The infected beast lies slain. Oh, what valiant proving of humanity's spirit!" For a moment, no one spoke as all eyes fell upon their normally reserved captain's peculiar frenzy. At last, Gravlax intoned, "Captain, perhaps immersion in these alien amusements should be restricted to leisure stints?" Zeth rippled his carapace thoughtfully. "Wise as always, my trusted lieutenant. We seem to have let fascination blind us to decorum and duty." He glanced around at the bridge crew, now watching him expectantly. "But what a wondrous discovery we have made. Let us continue to explore human culture and creativity in proper moderation." Murmurs of assent echoed through the crystalline chamber, but Zeth noticed more than one set of eyes stealing longing glances back toward the game console.